Hello. Okay, so this is gonna be a short one, I hope. Yeah, remember that base damageable stuff? I know it says base projectile, but I'm talking about base damageable. You know that base damageable stuff where there's like a an action trigger type, action on impact, action over time. There's a third one, action on collision now. I know these are very similar, but I'll explain in a second. And there was a persistence type and a contact persistence type. Well, it did some thinking. I looked at the forums document again, and there's a lot of forms and a lot of projectiles that have different behaviors on different things, right? And in that case, something like a global projectile specific persistence type for that affects the projectile no matter what they hit, it doesn't make sense, right? So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to make a layer persistence list, right? So what is this? What's going on here? Well, the layer I'm setting it to is everything, and I'm going to make it this projectile is going to get destroyed. This damage source is going to get destroyed when it does damage, and it's going to remove people from the contact list whenever that damage is done, right? And I've set up this basic fucking box around the entire setup just so I can show you the problems and the potential solution that I've come up with and what we're going to do in the future, maybe. Um, so you're going to see when I shoot this enemy shooting this red garbage at me, I'll show its health actually here. On the right side, that's its health. I'm gonna shoot him. 10 damage. Pretty good. But the projectile gets destroyed when it hits him, right? So that's cool. That's great. That's awesome. But something you're gonna notice is that if I shoot the wall, well, I didn't do any damage to it. So this um, destroy on damage persistence type doesn't really do anything, right? And for a lot of projectiles, this might be what we want. For example, something like a bouncing projectile that it hits the wall. Maybe it's not supposed to be destroyed whenever it hits the wall. We shouldn't hard program that functionality in as the be all end all kind of solution there. So what's the answer here, right? So what we're going to say is that on each projectile, we can individually set what's going to happen when it collides with things on different layers, right? So for example, um, when I'm gonna add a new layer called the environment, right? And it goes bottom to top. So even though this top one contains everything, right? This bottom one will take precedent. And so when this projectile hits the environment, it's gonna look at these right here. So I'm gonna actually say destroy source on collision. I want this projectile to be destroyed when it hits anything, an enemy, a wall, whatever. And I'll keep that the same, the contact persistence type. And you're going to see now when I shoot the wall, maybe not now, might have to refresh the thing, but, oh, that's the enemy bullets. Okay, wait, that makes much more sense. Player bullets, nothing, and then the environment, and then, yeah, destroy on collision. And you're going to see that when I hit the wall, the bullets get destroyed now. And when I shoot the enemy, it should keep the same behavior. That's not the enemy. This is the enemy. 90 health, 80 health. Yeah, because that's not part of the environment. So we can have a layer specific interaction. So if you can imagine for example, an aspect, one of the documents says a aspect that makes your projectiles that your form shoots reflect um, enemy projectiles or like destroy enemy projectiles and stuff like that. And so we would have like a different persistence selected here when it hits like enemy bullets or something like that, right? Or ally bullets, right? Or maybe even both, right? So because you can multi-select these, so you could have something affect only enemies, ally bullets, and the player, stuff like that, right? So that's the idea here. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that is that. I know that destroy on damage and destroy source on collision sound similar, but they are different. They are different. This will only destroy the thing if it hits something that it can't do if it can do damage to. This bottom one destroys no matter what you hit, and this middle one just doesn't destroy at all. Um, so yeah, that's that.